Burning Dropkick is me Brawler's second choice for a side special. Second in regards to its number on the custom special selector, and in its popularity. It's a pretty unassuming move. Brawler jumps forwards, lights himself on fire, and kicks. It looks a lot like Luigi's green missile, just without being able to charge or misfire. Unlike his other two side specials, which start and stop on a dime, Dropkick carries Brawler's momentum into the attack itself, so if he jumps forwards before firing, it'll go about 30% further than a normal Dropkick. Also unlike the others, Dropkick doesn't send into freefall and can also be used multiple times in the air. Looking at this, it's pretty clear that BDK was meant to be a safe recovery move that helps him counteract his fast falling speed. And if it stopped there, it would be a perfectly fine move. But nothing's ever simple for Brawler, because Burning Dropkick has one of the strangest bugs in the entire game. So Dropkick goes further with forward momentum, right? Well, Brawler can't have forward momentum when he's running or jumping away, which means he's stuck with the bad Dropkick. But, and hear me out on this, what if he did have forward momentum?
That's right, we're gonna cheat.
By jumping, pressing side B in the direction of the jump, and quickly slamming the stick the other way, Dropkick turns around and channels all of that retreating momentum in the opposite direction. Not only does this allow Brawler to do a fast dropkick while moving away, but for some reason doing dropkick like this actually gives Brawler even more speed than if he just jumped forward. The exact reasoning for this is complicated, so here's the extremely simplified version. BDK starts by giving Brawler a bunch of speed and decreases that speed over time, and it accomplishes this by accelerating him against the direction he's going in. So when Dropkick is B-reversed, it turns Brawler in the speed value around, but not the acceleration. So instead of slowing him down, it speeds him up. Basically, smash code weird, flippy line go zoom, and thank you Lily Lambda for figuring this out. It's really hard to put into words just how fast this move becomes, but consider for a moment that Spin Dash, which is 1 frame faster than Dropkick, doesn't get nearly as far in its startup. With this boost, Brawler gets way better at not just recovering, but also escaping bad spots. Worried about an edge guard? Yup. Stuck on the ledge? About to land on someone?
Yup.
Just don't feel comfortable where you're at?
You'd be like, oh shit, I'm gonna die. Whoa.
But I'm talking about this like it's exclusively a defensive boost, and it's not. Because in addition to helping to get back on stage, BDK massively boosts another part of Brawler's kit.
What is he doing to himself? Ah!
Me Brawler is already pretty good at running people down between his dash attack and general mobility, but Burning Dropkick is on a whole other level. Here's me Brawler's normal burst range. It's pretty good, but once he jumps, he loses access to dash attack. But when you stack BDK's range on top of that, it's like dash attack never left. Unlike with Suplex, which is only threatening at relatively close range, or dash attack, which can only be used on the ground, BDK grants Brawler the ability to fucking shoot himself into the opponent's face from virtually anywhere. And if you've ever played a game against you know how powerful that threat is. Admittedly, in matchups where both players are playing at neck breathing distance, BDK's range might not see all that much use. But speaking personally, I don't live in a region of rushdown. Look at our top 5 and tell me there's a god. Against any character who likes running away, BDK provides Brawler the ability to attack from a distance that, versus nearly every other fighter, would be completely safe to do business in. Hell, the opponent doesn't even need to be a zoner. If they do anything even semi-committal, Dropkick can serve as an immediate response to tell them to knock that shit off. Let's say Wolf wants to fire off a laser here. To punish this, most characters would have to jump into him. But between the bayonet hitbox covering early jumps, being out of position, and the possibility that Wolf could just pretend to go for laser, it's much easier said than done. Now, here's what that looks like with Burning Dropkick. Jump away, see if Wolf fires, and if he does, let her rip. Not only is this effective, but it's also safe, because if Wolf decides to swing preemptively, that too also becomes punishable by Dropkick. Like in this clip. This forward smash has a lot of shield pushback, so I don't trust that anything will reach. I decided to play it safe. But the Junior did the same thing. Looks like a missed opportunity, but don't worry. Let's just spin off the air and bam, that's a whiff punish now. I mean, this burst range is insane. I honestly can't believe that I'm allowed to do this. What do you do about a fighter that can turn heel in the air? There really isn't an answer. Oh. Right, we should probably talk about that. So, there is one big caveat to all this kicking. It loses out pretty bad to shields. The recoil animation is pretty laggy, meaning that firing on somebody who's actively looking out for dropkick is going to be met with... Weirdly, most people aren't ready for the recoil, but nearly every character is able to drop their shield for a dash grab or dash attack, if not something else entirely. So while you might luck out the first time it gets blocked, don't expect that to continue. There are some tricky things Brawler can do to escape these situations, like bouncing to the ledge, but that preys on hitting the opponent's shield at all. And if the opponent does sidestep the attack, they can lead to punishes that are just as devastating. Honestly speaking though, it's fine that BDK isn't spammable. Well, usually not spammable, because it doesn't have to be constantly hitting to be useful. Just the threat of dropkick is enough to intimidate people into making bad decisions that get them killed by something else. This cloud sees me jump back, which is a sign I'm about to use BDK. In response, he jumps away, and I whiff. But I took note of this interaction, and immediately jumped back again. Sure enough, he responds the exact same way. And I, who hasn't actually fired yet, decide to run in instead. This is the real reason why burning dropkick is so cool. It rewards you for practicing restraint, something I know most Brawler players don't have.
Like, most of the stage you can potentially extend off of. Dude, pressure.
Man, yeah.
Just oppression.
With these up tilts, just catching.
Oh, and that.
And the Chopper barely catching and taking that stock, early stock from these on the board.
Dude.
To be clear, I'm not saying it's bad to play like this. Brawler is very clearly designed to press buttons, and Suplex, Brawler's most popular side special, leans into that design even more. But this moveset can lead people into thinking that they always have to be the initiator, when in reality, Brawler's presence alone is enough to get people to make mistakes. And Dropkick is really good at being present. It will say very quickly if you were right or wrong, and requires an understanding of threat ranges on a very visceral level. Something that, to me, is pretty hard to find in Ultimate. And I know that a lot of people might miss the flashiness of Suplex, but have you considered that you can edgeguard with this move? Look, I wanted to play this thing up as a neutral beast, but there are just some situations where going off stage with this thing is the play. It's much better at edgeguarding than its other side specials because of the whole no freefall thing, so missing shouldn't even be that big of a deal. The only way that you die for this is if you go too far off stage to be able to make it back. And I mean, like, it's BDK, how are you going to be able to do that? Okay, maybe you should be a little careful.